歡迎繼續翻嚟玩極樂 Disco。
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
呢個喬爾斯比較多選項啲，關於罷工，你知道啲咩
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
如果我想聽啲商業秘密呢
First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade and Elements. That gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus.
一隻章魚，我會將佢殺咗嘅。
Good luck is only kept in place by the vested interests of half the civilized world, including your own.
What the ma'am means is that the Emergencies Act and the RCM both get their authority from the coalition government.
But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike?
呢兩邊到底發現住啲咩國籍
I believe the official title is Senior Labour Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
高嘅種族主義巨鑽塞住咗門口，係咪講測龍先生？
Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead.
喺私刑發生之前，對話進行得點樣？
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike?
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
呢個江蒙出咗咩事
Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
好啦。
Yes. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
Sounds like usual aggressive posturing.
聽嚟似係尋常嘅挑貴族姿態。佢哋仲有啲咩需求
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes. Every worker, a member of the board.
所有工人都係董事會一員。佢哋對生意一竅不通，唔知道點諗。
Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
僱員嘅國王必須承認呢個好有意思。
They're having a blast. But how can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumption was they would prefer a more practical solution.
你打算點做呢
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assumed that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the bowyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
This checks out.
啲大門附近嘅公察嚟幫安排嘅。
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrog come to plead for work where the union refuses to? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not right now, at least.
同我講下呢個工會領袖克雷爾先生。
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity.
極度正直嘅人。
If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
係咪真㗎？真嘅。
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
佢係咪真係咁衰嘅咧？
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
有兩個佢咩？
Yes. Edgar looks exactly like his brother,
基本上一模一樣。
except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
咁工會本身如果冇克雷爾兄弟嘅話咧？
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can organize labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother.
我哋焗住同佢哋合作。
And your opinion, Detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is?
一個吸血鬼吸取緊呢個生命力。
Indeed, and a hungry one. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the leech always hungers.
仲有一件事，你話選舉期間發生過咩事？
I'm glad you asked.
加5個
There
經驗
was a
值。
woman, the previous forewoman of the union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
會勒索咧，常有嘅事，詭異。勒索。
Indeed. The company suspects foul play, but there's nothing they could do. It was a union matter. The point...
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be
咁
just
多咗。
fine.
我知你咁多，我哋換個
Of
話題。
course. How else can I help?
關於私營嘅嘢。
Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes
隱藏
sensitive
任務
trade
就係
secrets.
走訪
For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your
走
names
訪
and
野
badge
從
numbers.
公司代理人。
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
有佢就夠，有阿 Kim。
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
有呢個可能，可能我延做飲酒之後一晚失去。
Oh dear.
As I said, ma'am, he's...
Of course, I sympathize. But I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
以私了解你的了解嘅私營資訊。我要必須攞出警員證之後，佢先會開口。
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
但係呢個有機會好高喎，點樣嘅嘢
I mean, favors for favors. A dirty
要試下
alliance of
呢
some
個
sort.
點通過談判嚟解決呢個問題。試下，
Easy.
咦，成功
Just
成功
offer
得
her
喎
a
得喎。
favor. Like I said, nice and dirty.
嗱當然啦，就係第二啲方法支持我哋嘅執法自己。
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
譬如話咧，
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason.
They're profiting from this trade.
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones. Or you can recover your badge, though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
咁我哋請俾我哋一啲時間，女士。應陰影遮蓋平靜上面嘅色調。咦，阿 Kim 好似有咩佢？
This is not going quite as I hoped. Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchmen.
哦，所以我哋係跟班。
This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation.
抱歉，係我令我哋兩個陷入呢個險境，我會處理。
I'm sure you will, Detective.
啲咩建議？我哋唔好調查毒品走私。
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. We'd never hear the end of it. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done, and demand for her information on the lynching.
我哋可以嘅，你知啊，我可以揾到我嘅警員證。
Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large, and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters. You could request a new one from your station, but that would literally take months.
個地方翻去揾佢。
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
唔啦，
This reality.
同醫學插曲有關，甚至機
Ah, yes. The episode. Sounds like an acute case of encephalopathy now that I think of it.
Don't be phased, madame. He functions perfectly well. He only needs a lowdown on all of reality.
We may be here a while then.
有冇更新認
Ask
清？
away, officer. I'll help however I can.
問一個
All
提
right,
示啊，
you're in.
我哋邊
We're in Martinez, baby.
咁馬丁內斯係邊
Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour, north of the 881 and Jamrock.
喬爾斯好有錢，而且好樂意問一個問題，答你嘅問題，揾一個試下。
You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year.
你都睇到大海嘅咩海咧？
It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into
瑞
the
亞
ocean.
燒海灣，我哋靠近大海咯。
Yes. We're on an island in an ocean, the world's largest body of water,
問佢
the
問。
Insulindic.
Vast, lukewarm, and unknowable, flowing in and out of sight.
呢座島叫咩名？
Caillou, as you already know. Imagine a pebble. A smoothed over pebble amidst a great blue sea, misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the river Esperance. We're in the delta of this river on the 6th branch, the Martinez Distributory.
It's clear this pebble is of enormous value to her.
好啦，呢個係馬丁萊斯咁瑞亞肖係咩嚟
Revachol is what you call a city.
係點樣一個城市啊？點
Great
偉
kind.
大嗰種？
As if it's self-explanatory, beyond patriotism.
瑞亞肖點解好偉大嘅？
History detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries.
好啦，咁邊個建造呢個城市
The
嘅？
nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Seminine and Ile Marat, depending on your creed.
瑞亞肖係幾時？
In the DeLorean century. 380 years ago.
點解可以問幾時建成嘅？佢係決定歷史嘅。
They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflicts. The stuff of men.
咁點解會喺呢度
We
咧？
are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue. It's where the money is.
所以我哋係一個重要嘅地方嘅唔重要嘅地區。
I think it's fair to say so. Martinez is about 22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
望住大海，
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light.
水乾，
It's as though you're seeing it for the first time. There is no recognition. Only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
我哋係邊度？
We are where we are.
咦
I
有
have no true
有新
answer
思
to
維
give,
喎，叫
unfortunately.
做咩舊事原身？佢會去現實化。
This is one thought you need to complete. Where
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner has many more questions to ask, about even more fundamental aspects of reality. Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Messier will be here later too, and tomorrow. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
又覺得啱嘅景座，我稍為好再
It's better not to eat all your candy at once.
繼續詢問喬爾斯有關現實嘅問題，或者之後再翻嚟，你需要嘅時候，資訊嘅時候佢都喺度。
Indeed. I'm always at your service.
而家係咩時候？
These are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. A thousandth of a second too late.
啲咩遲咗啊？
For the big time.
咩係大時
The
代
revolution.
啊？點解一直聽到大嘅革命
It's
嘅咧？
quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a
哦，
real
都幾多問題
kerfuffle.
喺度啊！個警探都幾多問題，邊個腦袋仲長？
Those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot in the head during the World Revolution. But the communists...
she's not gloating. It's a relieved celebration.
Oh, and the anarchists too. They shot them well. So well, one forgets they even existed.
康米主義者同無政府主義者反擊嚟咩？
Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people.
即係一團，即係一個悲劇。
Yes. The Red Deluge. The Insulindian deluge, they call it.
仲有邊個腦袋中槍啊？
Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head, or thrown beneath a horse, or drowned. Accounts differ. It was unceremonious. Just as well, he wasn't actually the king. Just the king's nephew. The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad.
我中意國王，國王抵死。
Which one? Actually, it doesn't matter. King Guillaume has always been my favourite. He could smell a PR disaster brewing. So he got out alive and his nephew, Fricelle, got shot in his place. Him and tens of thousands of his wonderfully fascist kingsmen. It was a wild time.
咁礦產權落喺邊個手上？
The liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral rights, I mean everything.
好啦，咁你口中嘅自由派係邊？
Liberals are usually middle-class people, Detective. Or the remaining gentry. The beneficiaries of the pre-revolutionary arrangement. Some were rich enough to stay with the constitution, with monarchy. Big mistake. Others bet on the revolution. They were called the ultras or ultra-liberals. They fared well.
自由派係點贏得呢一切？
They didn't win so much as survive. We were the last ones standing when the war ended.
如果所有都
Everyone
被
else got shot in the head, remember?
射殺，咁要邊個投降？
To foreign intervention. The coalition. Those people really took the mineral rights.
聯盟係邊個？
The coalition of nations. Grad, Mesk, Vesper, Messina, Oranje, and Sur-la-Clay. The armed centre of the world. They landed here and ended the revolution. It was the moralist thing to do.
There is bitterness in her voice, tempered with understanding. She is critical, but ultimately understands the cause.
道德家
The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is. They believe in mineral rights and not shooting people in the head. At least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing provisional rulers of Revachol now, the coalition government.
The rulers of Revachol, and also the world. These guys are strong.
This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they took. Technically speaking, you are a moralist.
我唔覺得係個道德家咯。
Of course. Not easy to be moderate about head shooting in your line of work.
動亂係咩時候爆發？
The turn of the century revolution? Don't answer it. It's a trick question. The revolution began in 02 on the Isla of Grad, though by the end nearly the whole world had gotten involved. It wasn't a who, but a what. A pandemic of
一
Zarat,
場分班嘅瘟
particularly
疫。
virulent prion disease, which the authorities in Grad proved unable to contain. Then Mazov came along and overthrew the government.
分班係咩一回事？
It made people overthrow their governments.
真㗎？
Of course not. It was a highly infectious microorganism that destroyed brain tissue. The actual causes of the revolution were material. The pandemic only provided the spark.
喺邊度傳播出嚟嘅？
From Revachol and Grad? Not far. The world managed to cauterize itself. Mazov's government was overthrown in 08, and the coalition crushed the Revachol commune 2 years later. It was the end.
跟住落嚟，
Why? You and I, officer. Our lives in the zone of control.
Something tells you her life and yours are not that similar.
控制區係咩嚟？
A city-state divided into free market zones under the everlasting interregnum of the coalition of nations. And you,
揾到
of
有
course,
長有襯
the
嗰度。
citizens' militia.
The clatter of typewriter keys fills the main hall of the reappropriated silk mill. Precinct 41. Chad Tilbrook presses enter. Outside, Officer Elfboy Williams slams the door of an armored motor carriage.
The Zone of Control is the third incarnation of Revachol, after the failure of the Suzerain and the Commune.
世界嘅其他地方呢
Modernity. They developed the marvels of the inter-eastlery communication, telematic milieus, radiation, colored plastics. Meanwhile, in Revachol West, the aftermath continues for the 5th decade.
呢種情況已經持續幾耐㗎啦。
43 years. Hard to fathom, I know.
咁呢段時間你做緊啲咩呢
The 20s saw a decade of urban war, west of the river leveled, offshore platforms in flames. Still, it's regarded as an improvement on what came before. 08 to 19 was simply hell.
即係呢度啲歷史真係幾長。呢個之後呢
Things settled down in the 30s. Revachol East transformed itself into the world's largest tax haven, with the international community's blessing. For the first time in a long time, it seemed like things were going somewhere.
邊度有進展啊？
No. It was a market mirage fueled by cocaine and quantitative easing. The 40s dispelled it like a cold splash, an Isla-wide hangover, you might say. And here we are. Welcome to reality,
而家70個
baby.
經驗值，有冇完成？佢話看清現實，認清現實。
From the looks of it, the 50s haven't been much better for the Zone of Control.
可以升
You can
級
see it in her eyes. Days slipping away.
升就係升新手咧。呢個啦，呢個升，智力就。
I've no right to be dissatisfied. This shirt is Barbara Muscova, this raincoat is impervious to rain and is guaranteed for 100 years. My daughters will wear it. No, it's just... We could have had so much more. Every one of us. If only we played it right.
如果係你，會有啲咩唔同做法呢？
Good question. What would you have done differently?
No, her first.
佢先講啊。我問你咧，你其中有扮啲咩角色？
And I asked you, past less detective of the citizens' militia, what insight has acute encephalopathy given to you?
我係尋求醫學手段解決啲問題。
A cold creeps up your spine, reaching its tendrils up your neck, toward the back of your head.
So a quarter of humanity simply lost their minds. And how would you stop a prion, a complex folding protein, unlife, with a technology 50 years ago?
The wind stops, and for a moment, there's silence. The char...
There is peace
Good
in
hygiene. Really. A very moderate solution to an extreme problem. It's those sort of half measures that doomed the authorities in Grad. When they failed to step up, Marzov and his party stepped in. In this particular case, maybe a more robust state response might have been appropriate.
Opinions expressed here do not reflect the official position of the RCM.
And what is your official position, Lieutenant?
咁你嘅立場係咩幾座？
My position, ma'am? My parents got ripped to shreds in the revolution. I would have gone the same way. I was saved by being 2 years old. That's my position. The abattoir.
Understandable.
時代嘅問題已經講得差唔多啦。
They are what they are. Who knows? An afterbloom may yet come. Anyway, enough sentimentality. Is there anything else you want to know?
急性腦變病係咩嚟？
It's a neurological disorder caused by a lack of vitamin B in the brain. Symptoms include a retrograde amnesia. It's quite serious. You should get yourself checked out.
She conveys it in short, cold bursts, trying not to invest too deeply in the condition of this doomed detective.
係啲咩導致腦病變嘅？
Well, it's either bariatric surgery or long-term alcohol use.
絕對係咪飲酒咧，定係手術咧？手術。
She nods, slow. What this boils down to is this reality thing is stupid. Blow this joint, grab a bottle, and drain that shit right down your throat. Wait. This reality thing is the only game in town. It's probably in your interest not to blow it.
Of course. Well, I'll be here if you need me.
Hey.
邊個叫我？
Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again.
再次。
Yes, you're ready to start building communism again. You've built it before. They've built it before. Hasn't really worked out yet. But neither has love. Should we just stop building love, too?
係，我哋應該停止。
This conversation isn't really about love. Try to keep up, okay? This is about the communism you've promised to build. Word on the street is it's going to be 10,000 times larger than any communism previously attempted. Is that true?
點解喺街上會傳聞嘅咧？
You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pockets, literally murder all human beings regardless of their political beliefs. That kind of stuff.
冇錯啊，聽嚟好似我講嘅嘢。
Funky style. Very funky. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Or do we get right down to it?
但係先呢個康米主義係咩意思？
Failure. It's about failure.
失敗。
Yes, abject failure. Total, irreversible defeat on all fronts. Absolutely vanquished, beaten, curb-stomped and pissed on. Until you came along. You will reverse the fortune of the workers of the world. You alone, against every living thing, against every human alive. 800 trillion real in the hands of an impossibly well-organized ruling class. Towering city blocks of bankmen who have the ears of prime ministers. Million-headed armies of nations and the love of your own mother. You against the atom, the charm and the spin, where the whole world failed. Matter failed to bend to human will. Human will failed to get out of bed and tie its laces. You alone, single-handedly, will rebuild the dreams of the working class. You are the last communist. Now get to it, comrade.
我接受思想先啊。
Oh yeah. Get the firing squads and the animal wagons ready.
咩㗎？縱火小隊，我聽你講過。
Too late to back out now. You can't make an omelette without breaking a few million eggs.
完成呢個消費者先，把佐夫社會經濟學都係。即係其實咧，呢一隻 game 其實都幾即係話睇過，即係都係文字 game。
A sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to the apartment building. It's locked. The door rattles against your knuckles, but there's the door rattle.
Stop banging on the door! I'm not letting any more strangers
入邊有個清潔
inside.
女工，但係首先我
Doesn't matter who I am. Now go on, get out of here.
我係警察，將門打開。
The police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here.
我冇講
No,
笑。
I already told you. I won't be responsible for any more strangers getting into the building. Go check the backyard door. Maybe someone there will.
阿 Kim 話咗話俾佢知道你真係警察。
Madame, I assure you, we are real police officers.
There is no reply,
冇回應。
just faint sweeping sounds
公寓
inside.
西南入口。但係佢唔開門嘅話，我哋都唔知入唔到入邊調查。成隻 game 都係得個文字係最多。嚟到5:36。
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone,
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
41。
Just a moment, officer.
10-4, come in, officer. Over.
我急，追證財政局。
10-4, I hear you. I don't have the authority to grant your request, but... What does he want now? He's asking for money.
我要錢啊！
Is he fucking kidding? I don't think he is.
Don't give that asshole anything. He's just gonna drink it all.
佢有定
Alright, that's a negative on the additional funds, sir. Over.
再俾多啲錢我啊！呢個對調查至今重要。
He says it's important to the case.
He isn't getting a red cent. You can tell him that.
Request denied, sir. Over.
我冇地方瞓㗎啦。
He says he's in trouble. Doesn't have a place to sleep.
Well, I guess he'd better crack the case before sundown then.
Vicmar said...
Who cares what this Vic Mayor said? Pull on their heartstrings. Enough, officer. This begging is below your dignity.
我聽到
Anything else, sir? Over. Roger that. 10-10.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
我需要聯繫一個市民。
Of course. What is the number, officer?
加爾特有將呢個失以為嘅號碼俾佢。
Yes, hold on. Her number is 005 194429.
Received. Hold on, officer.
代身等待定代身等。
Lieutenant Kitsuragi slowly begins to tap a little rhythm with his right foot. Quite a...
Officer. Yes, hello?
醫生喂，我係警察，我想問你前幾日返工嘅事。
Oh, right. Hello, officer. What can I do for you?
到啦，追捕
You can hear resentment in her tone. She's not thrilled to be talking to
佢一
you
啲都唔
again.
想同我通話。
There is no resentment in her tone. She wants you to ask her out.
誒
No question about it.
你辭咗飛船旅社嘅工作，點解嘅？
You mean why did I leave the bar? Honestly, I'm not really comfortable discussing it with you, sir.
點解同我討論會咁舒服嘅咧？
Let's just say I left because I needed to get away from someone.
遠離邊個？
You know whom?
You think you hear a sliver of accusation in her words. Don't be paranoid. She's obviously talking about someone else, not you.
你講我啊，係咪？
I really don't want to talk about this. Let's just forget about this, okay?
好啦，唔會逼你做翻
Maybe, I don't know.
會做翻嚟
I
翻
just
工。
know I have to take some time off right now.
係你打電話報警嘅。
No? Not me.
你知道報警哦。
No, sorry. I I don't. Not a lot of people have phones around here. Copper thieves take the wires. People don't have the money to have the cables put in again. They use the union's phone, or the one on the coast.
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
繼續揾打電話嘅人，儘管目前缺少啲明顯嘅線索，點解冇報警嘅呢？
What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought the union already knew about the courts.
咁工會同呢一個有咩關係呢？
No one calls the police. The union would get angry.
呢句話係咩意思
You know, what the union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like everyone here.
Garbage.
繼續追問。
I didn't want to get in trouble with the others.
Push her further. Show her the error of her ways.
加把勁勁推佢。
No, don't push her. It sounds as if she's about to cry.
我就直講啦，係為咗保存自己嘅性命。
I didn't know I had to report it. I thought someone would take him down eventually.
一下啲大事唔係咩？你應該做啲用眼淚將啲警察招翻嚟。
You can almost hear the girl getting smaller on the other end of the line until she almost drowns in static.
好啊，下一個問題。
Okay.
你有見過我嘅警員證
Yes, I know who you are. You're a police officer. The law.
Yeah, I think she got it. Good job.
等，你點知我係個警探嘅？
You told me back in the whirling. You told everybody and showed us your badge. I don't need to hear about it anymore.
其實我都唔知道，我警員證唔見咗，你喺邊度見過？
Oh, no.
Oh.
I haven't, sorry.
佢冇見過。
Real policemen have uniforms too, by the way. Where's yours?
見到冇着制服啦，係咪？
He's in plain clothes, voluntarily.
便衣型。
It's different from not knowing where your uniform is. There are officers who wear the signature Perseus black uniforms to the highest ranks in the RCM and end up buried in them as well. Others do it more casually. Looks like you're one of them.
你有冇見過我支槍？
Please, no. Not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun, detective.
我將支槍俾你睇咗咩時候
You were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating and
之後你有做啲咩
you were waving it around in everyone's face, begging them to describe it. You said it calms you, and then you started making suicide jokes. It got pretty graphic.
Some poor sod was trying to eat his pudding while you were screaming, spit flying, imitating the mercy shot right next to him. Spat some in his food. I don't think he touched it after.
點解要威脅話要自殺嘅？
There is silence on the other end of the line.
好啦，我唔知點講啦。
Me neither.
但係我支槍點嘅咧？
No idea. All I know is next you were waving around money instead, saying things like big bucks cannot lie and
啲錢
guns can't buy
係
money,
我嚟
but
做
money
嚟
can
買
always
槍
buy
嘅。
guns.
OK，
It almost looked like you pawned it, but believe
加
me,
5個
I
經
did
驗
not
值。
ask.
你見唔見到我嘅警隊制服啦？
Uniform? I never saw you in any uniform. You had your things on, the disco things.
Disco 之類嘅。咁你想抽時間同我一齊飲杯咖啡？
No, absolutely not.
士氣受損。
Ouch. That's like 20 points of pride damage right there, buddy.
我諗我已經得到所必要資訊，多謝。
I do hope so. Please don't call me again. Bye.
呢個中等想避開嚟加一，之前有行過佢減一。
You hear the call breaking up on the other end of the radio.
冇住。
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
冇啊。
57, over.
In the cabin, you see a set of
3萬5先。
Object Task Force.
完成思維整理反物品特
Behold,
隊。
The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings, stickers,
車上
insignia.
加爾特磁鐵吉 and 奇蹟工廠，邊度嘅貼紙同徽章？
The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. Proclamations about honor, strength, and purity are glued to various panels.
後座呢？
The back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep, large ashtrays. There are several suns and wheels sewn into the curtains.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy.
你覺得呢個台火車會屬於嗰個銀行？
Likely, yes.
加5個
This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
下面好似有毒室。
Stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air with the aid of numerous ropes and rods.
呢個邊個
A
嚟？
silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol, son of Philip II, the opulent, father of Philip IV, the insane. Not a good track record of mental health in that family.
呢個國王做咗啲咩？你可以試下呢個得唔得？
What did he
誒
do?
失敗。
You have no idea what you did a week ago. How would you know what this guy did many centuries ago? High above you, the king stands triumphantly.
好啦，之後會解鎖呢一個。咩？咩？頭先提到。頭先有啲嘢我先，呢度有個資料道具，譬如羅伊嘅當鋪，呢度似乎未見過呢個報紙手號。
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. Loose wires dangle from the now vacant holes. In the middle is a lever. Beneath it, this panel usually closes the waterlock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crashed salmon and butter sign in the way. Pulling the lever probably won't do anything.
拉動控制桿。
Pull the lever all the way up until the metal clicks against the contact pins. You hear a soft clunk. Then, nothing happens. Nothing happens. A cold gust of wind blowing in from the sea interrupts the silence of the city.
鬆開控制桿。
A spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need to close the waterlock to get across the canal. Some other way.
因為由新印度係周三關閉水閘，要禮拜三先得。
Wasn't there a sign over there?
當然冇咩證，當然冇證據住，要禮拜三。
Yes?
當鋪有啲咩啊？某種機器或者係一台古老嘅收銀機。黑暗中有台複印機正呼呼旋轉，一個女人嘅背身像，並唔係得一個簡單時代。大多數都係軍裝衣物，仲有啲古怪嘅款式。
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
快速打亮路燈。
The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light buzzes faintly, but persistently.
嗰個係路燈啊。
Yes, officer. As you see, it's in perfect working order.
你喺邊度整嚟？
It was brought to me to be altered.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property. You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
呢個路燈幾多錢
？700 real.
700
A bargain, I dare say.
哇！就算考慮到呢個路燈嘅風險。
There's also the matter of rewiring, but the most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its morphological field. The light became suitable for use inside the home just a few days ago.
關於呢個燈，你已經冇咩需要知道嘅。當鋪嗰啲。
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. All are stern and unyielding in their duty. Try to find something pretty and cool here. Then use it to, yes, buy something nice. This sounds off. You shouldn't trust this guy.
睇下馬背上嘅旗。
Big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor and carrying flintlocks, the kind that would mow down a line of enemy soldiers in the blink of an eye.
佢哋係邊？
Franco-Nigerian knights. I used to be very serious about these guys.
A long, long time ago.
觀察藍色制服。
They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed, wielding swords and rifles with bayonets.
啲皇家即係藍色雕像，即係皇家士兵。
Which ones? Ah, those. Yes, they are. I find the paint job a bit gaudy, but children like the bright colours indiscriminately.
茶堂呢個衣流間流嘅小雕像。
This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some even shovels and tall sticks.
呢啲真係算得上係士兵嘅。
You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? Yes, they are soldiers, revolutionary soldiers. I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win.
呢個唯有帶人哋去。
Maybe.
He seems to have his own take on the conflict played out in perpetuity by
要
these
試下死
toys.
咧，成日
You
中
might be
中
interested
突
to find out what it is.
呢個得得
Everything you
失
pick
敗
out
咯。
seems faded, chipped, and sad somehow. Most of them are just broken
唔係
toys.
個個都搏到有。
The boomboxes on the shelf look well-loved and well-traveled.
電器腳
Chipped,
尖
dented.
多
One
睇過
especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox that says Stereo 8 approved. This is you. Golden orange,
金色同
My
橙
son
色。
suggests make sure it works before you buy it.
呢台機
Is
器
a Harman Welsh W2, made in Vespa, designed in Seoul, plays all reel-to-reel formats, 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in
我想
there.
知嘅係
It'll
我
set
警
you
察
back 12
工作係咪
rounds.
用得到呢個裝備？
If police work means playing tapes, sure,
係喎，如果
you can use it for that.
捉犯人嘅
Or
話，
any
佢
other time you'd need to play a
係
tape.
喎
Like a beach party, with sand and sun and seagulls
可唔
dancing
可以
on the
將
breeze.
佢帶去海灘派對？
Theoretically, yes. But we don't have time right now. It's generally murder investigation first, then beach party.
你講啱。
That is the
工作室
unofficial RCM motto, yes.
羅伊嘅話，我